Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and through you to the members. For those of us who have been paying very, very close attention to all of the Governor's Task Force work and the Ethics Committee's work and the Committee on State Administration's work, this is a day that someone like myself has waited for a very long time. We have an opportunity as an entity, as a collective body, to address what we see on the outside having to affect us on the inside. First off, I want to tell you that having this come before us has a lot of mixed feelings for many of us who have been working to strengthen the accountability, the transparency, and the integrity of this institution. I want to commend the Governor for stepping in the fall during what I consider to be a silence in which many of us were justifiably shocked by the actions of a very few. Now, some people might get up and they might say, we shouldn't legislate because of the exceptions to the rule. And I will tell you, the majority of my colleagues that I serve with here today in this chamber really have the best of intentions, really have their core constituency at heart, and do it not for personal gain, but do it for public interest. But having said that those people who may not think we should address this issue, the Speaker is right to address this issue at this time. I've actually gotten up on many occasions and said we should have done it even earlier, prior to him ever becoming Speaker. And maybe we would not be experiencing the wrath that we have seen in terms of public outrage. So the Speaker is right to bring this up now. Do I think it has everything that we need to address? No, and I have filed amendments to that effect later on. But do I think it is a start? Do I think it is a start in which we legislate not because of the exception to the rule, but because we are willing to be the example for the rule? The day has come and gone when we effectuate legislation that is going to dictate how other public servants and officials will act. We have the opportunity to offer what I consider to be some of the strongest actions that have been taken since the mid-1990s. And you can't do that without leadership. I think there's going to be an awful lot of discussion long after we pass this bill today. And I will vote to support this bill. Not just because it has 90% of what the Governor's Task Force recommendations are in. Not just because I think it's the right leadership role to take right now on behalf of this new Speaker. But it's the right time to start addressing the problem. And for those of you who think the problem is going to go away after we address this, you're sadly mistaken. And as long as leadership assures us that we're going to continue to have the opportunity to offer good government legislation in the areas of accountability, in the areas of integrity, in the areas of transparency, then we can offer an awful lot back to the public. An awful lot that has the guarantee that we're listening to them, but more importantly, we know this is not just about every legislator. Matter of fact, most of my bills that I've filed related to ethics and legislative conduct might have something to do with legislators in the realm of this particular legislation, but has far more to do with the other issues that we're getting pegged for every single day up here in the House that we have no ability to even authoritate over. Things like quasi-public agencies gone astray and amok. I'm getting pretty frustrated and tired of being blamed for other people's not only incompetencies, but unwillingness to play by the rules of transparency, open government, and integrity. And whether it involves state contracts, whether it involves quasi-agencies, we're going to have to look at every bill as we go forward and how do we provide the citizens with the assurances that we're listening to their outrage. I believe we have a leadership that is taking it seriously now to put this bill forward. Would it have been great to have all opportunity for each one of us to continue to add to it? I say don't stop, folks, because this isn't the end. This is the beginning, and it's the right step, and it's the right beginning to take. I look forward to being able to talk about the different amendments that I think are extremely important, and I hope my colleagues will hear me out on that. But at the end of the day, I still believe that this is a good piece of legislation. It can be made better, and I'm hoping leadership will listen to the amendments that are offered by those people like myself and others on both sides of the aisle, because I've long said that ethics and lobbying reform and campaign finance reform is not a partisan issue, and it's never been the responsibility, the sole responsibility of the governor. It's incumbent upon each and every one of us. And so I look forward to a healthy, robust discussion this afternoon, but I wanted to take the opportunity to tell people in advance that this bill has a lot of good stuff in it. It does. It can be made better. It can be made a lot better. But we have to start somewhere. One voice together hopefully makes a chorus, and I think I've heard the chorus of the public quite loud and clear. I'm just hoping that we can continue to build a chorus within this chamber. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.